Welcome to the Chronicles of the Entrepreneur. We are discussing we are looking at how you can elevate your emotional vibration frequency. And we are continuing with another technique in the 3 LDS gear technique. And this one is letting go. I said in the 3 LDS gear technique, we have 3 L's, we have 3 D's, and we have 3 S's. The learning, letting go, living in the now. And we have the discipline, we have the detachment, and we have the decisiveness. We have the sacrifice, and we have surrender, and we have sensitivity. Now, let's focus on letting go. This is the second gear, out called gear number 2. In the process of elevating your emotion vibration frequency, you will have to engage gear number 2, which is letting go. For those who are driving cars, they know what gear number 2 behaves like. It is a heavy gear, and it is usually used to climb high mountains. And it can be maintained for a very long distance, a very short distance, because it is a heavy gear. And I want to tell you, letting go is not easy. It's not easy because in most cases, or throughout our lives, since we were born up to where we are now, we have been made to believe that we need to attach to things. We need to associate and embrace things. We need to be in control. This is what we have been made to believe, that for our lives to be better, we need to have some control. We need to be attached to something or to someone so that our life will be having meaning. So as a psychologist, we're learning in what we call that during the formative years, or the formative period, which is between 0 to 6 or 7 years, a child learns to attach to a certain kind of, to certain things. They attach to their parents, their siblings, they attach to their teachers, they attach to the environment that they are in, so that they can have a proper definition of the world. This process of attachment goes through in life, and as we change what we attach to, during teenagehood, a person would start now attaching to peers and finding their identity through peers. And as you go further in your 20s, now you'll start attaching to people, or to people of opposite sex, or a spouse, let's say. And that's where people have this urge for marriage. They want to get married. They push for marriage. They want to have someone that they are attached to. And as you go further in life, you'll also develop attachments to a certain kind of ideology. You'll develop attachment to people that you call them role models. You'll attach to certain kind of food. You'll attach to a certain kind of environment. That's why you hear somebody saying, I like to live in this area because when I live in this area, I feel more good. So attachment continues in our lifetime until we die, if we are not careful. But here I'm bringing to you a different perspective. I'm not sure if you have heard about it, but I want to tell you, this is a way that you can apply, or this is a technique that you can apply to elevate your emotion vibrational frequency. Letting go simply means detaching yourself. I pause and I want you to reflect on that. Detaching yourself. Detaching yourself from what? Detaching yourself from people. Detaching yourself from environment. Detaching yourself from things. How is that possible? How do you detach yourself from people? I don't mean that you should isolate yourself. I say you should detach yourself. Listen, there's this tendency that you have somebody that you are so much detached. So when they leave or when they do something to you, you become so hot. And when you are so hot, you start developing these negative emotions that we have been discussing here. You start developing the emotions of fear, anxiety, anger, hatred, resentment. And if you continue in that kind of a situation, you might reach to a point of developing those very low vibrations like guilty and shame, or you might go through to depression. This is why when somebody loses someone, or when somebody loses someone in their life, they become devastated. You hear somebody, let's say, commit suicide because they have been left by a boyfriend. Why did this person do that? It is a result of attachment. This person was too attached to this person to the extent that they idolized this person as their God or somebody that they can't live without. So this is a very dangerous situation. Now, you need to start detaching yourself from the dependence of other people to make your life or to give you joy or happiness. You have to start working on yourself, developing that strength in you, hope, courage, so that you can reach to the highest vibration possible. Now, another thing that you need to detach yourself from is detach yourself from the environment. And the environment here, I mean anything which surrounds you. You find somebody is so much comfortable living in a certain place or going to a certain place, but they are very uncomfortable to go in a certain place. Why is this? It means that this person is attached to that particular environment. You find that somebody, when they travel to a certain place, they can even become sick and they become very less stressed. You try to know what's the reason. They can't even explain, because these people have a very strong attachment with some place. And when you take them back to the environment that they are used to or they are attached to, they become fine. So we need to start a journey to detach ourselves from being confined with a certain or with a particular environment in our lives. We have to we have to be adventurous in ourselves. We have to be open to new experiences that life may offer to us. We don't need to stick and be rigid to a very specific environment. Look here, if you confine your life into a certain specific environment, let's say if it's a region or it's a country, you'll not explore what life has to offer. Your spirit will be confined. Your mind will be confined. You will not enjoy life. The other thing which is very important to detach from is our results. Yes, I mean results. When we live our lives, let's say if you are now in your 40s, there's so much you have accomplished in your life. You have accomplished in terms of career, in terms of relationships, in terms of financial, in the financial aspect, and all other areas of your life, in terms of your physique. All of these results have become part and parcel of you. Now, as you live your life, you'll understand that these results may form a certain kind of ego in you, which you can be always so fond to it and lose focus of what life may offer, or lose focus of growth. You remember in one of the paths that we discussed, there is that path which I call the complacence path, whereby a person started to decline and plateau towards average life. So most people who are attached to their results, they usually find themselves falling or declining, or they start plateauing into life, which is not a good thing to experience. So you should do what Paul the apostle said. He said, I don't think that I have accomplished. But he said, I do one thing, forgetting the past and pushing forward towards the goal. My friend, whatever success or whatever results you have achieved in this life, it's not worthwhile cringing to. It's not worthwhile attaching to. You can do better and you can achieve more in all areas of your life. If it's in business, you can do much better. If it is in your career, you can do much better if you let go, if you detach yourself from your results. And the thing which you need also to consider here is surrender. As we said, surrender is a very important aspect of letting go. I would encourage you to learn more about this. But what would surrender means? Surrender simply means surrender simply means allowing yourself to lose control of the uncontrollable. That is surrender. You know, surrender is like relinquishing control, allowing yourself not to control things which you cannot control. Actually, in life, there is very little that we can control. Most of the things which happen into our lives happen just without our notice or without any information. I want to remind you that you are a very tiny thing in this universe. You are a very tiny thing. I don't want to use even the word small. You are a very tiny thing in this universe. So most of the things will happen with or without your wish or without your permission. So you should allow life to happen. If it is something unpleasant happening to you, let it happen. Let's say if you have lost something, let it go. Surrender it. So it is a challenge most of the people or most of us encounter to let go or to surrender. Surrendering your, let's say somebody has offended you and you feel like you deserve an apology and you harbor anger and resentment towards that person. You walk through life resenting this person without knowing that this person is not even aware that they offended you. So you'll continue being hurt and you'll continue experiencing all these negative emotions into your life and lowering your frequency just because of unforgiveness. Or you once had a very successful career or a very successful business venture, and this business started maybe to fall apart or declining. Because of your attachment to that business or to that career, you start feeling down. And every time you see things are falling off, you get into this panic mode, into this anger mode, you get into this fear mode. And without knowing, you fall into this lowest vibration possible. Now, if something is happening into your life, whether it's positive or negative, I'll challenge you to take a place of an observer. An observer. Be an observer. Be an observer. Be an observer. In which sense? Let things happen. Because when things happen, you have sometimes, or most of the time, very little control over them. If it's a good thing happening to you, then accept it, embrace it. And if it's a negative thing, accept it and embrace it. That is how you are going to live or to elevate, to start elevating your life, elevating your emotional vibration frequency, and start experiencing more joy and peace in your life.